ربما للفوز بالألقاب الثلاثة المحلية التي فاز.
Ruben Pardo.
Well, we said that Real Sociedad, you'd think would play a defence again. They're playing quite an attacking game, but now here could be Luis Suarez really.
Some treatment after that save. We just see Neymar's through ball there, and as you mentioned, the keeper doing very well. But
He plays in a team that is
back as Real Sociedad look to move forward and play on the counter. Messi now just looking for the run of Neymar. The Brazilian beaten to the ball by.
Means you have to wonder how long they'll be able to keep up this high pressing, because it just takes one little.
Andres Iniesta now out wide to Neymar, closely guarded by Aritz Elizondo, and Elizondo is the one who wins that battle. See there,
No, it's been
in the opposition half, and Neymar and Mateo making an overlapping run. Real Sociedad 0.
And you can just see with Matthew, doesn't just quite offer that dynamism which the most composure, but he often does try and play like a Barcelona.
Claim from Claudio Bravo, and this is where Barca will be very dangerous as Neymar sets off, but Sociedad quickly back, and 5 players, and now 6 joining him. That's a through ball from Messi and Neymar. Fantastic goalkeeping from Geronimo Rulli, who read the flick from the Barca number 11, and it was a dangerous tackle to make. One wrong move and he could have clipped his legs.
Yeah, really brave goalkeeping from after suffering that knock earlier in the game. This time Neymar is definitely onside, and the linesman keeps his flag down, but
Iniesta all the way across to Neymar. He's got Suarez just inside him, but with little space from behind.
It's definitely a
Nero's name. Barca have won 5 consecutive league games now,
and then in the turn of the year it all collapsed. So you never know, but things are certainly.
His wits about him, as Real Sociedad have shown that on the break they've got something about him. As Suarez goes over the edge of the area, and Barca take the lead. Neymar scores. Suarez was down on the edge of the area. Barca continue. Dani Alves' cross from the right, and Neymar raced in to prod the ball into the top corner, and made here at Camp Nou. It's FC Barcelona 1.
Playing ever so well, and then it just takes a couple of passes just to unlock your defence. Lovely ball from Messi over to Dani Alves. There's a clash between Suarez and a Real Sociedad defender. It doesn't matter because Neymar is in there, and that just shows you the real ferocity of Barcelona's attacking trident. Messi can be deep helping out, Suarez can be on the floor, but
as mentioned, with his 13th goal of the season, so it's still the front 3 that have scored the majority of 30th Barca goal of the season. More than likely hand clapping started by the fans behind that goal, and Messi in fact does leave it to Neymar, who will send in an outswinger here. Floated into the area, into the near post, cleared Aguirre, and Dani Alves showed nerves of steel just to bring it down and then clip it out. And now Neymar, slightly less, fairly short starting 11 when it comes to defending set pieces. Neymar, maybe it was just the fall, as the defender seemed to land awkwardly on the ground rather than anything malicious. He seems to be in some pain after that, just jumped into him. It would take him to fit in here, but he certainly has fitted in now, and he's an integral part of the scene of the team here at Barcelona, and one of the star names, probably one of the first names. The front 3 pick themselves every week, of course, for Luis Enrique.
Right, Barca lost their first 2 games with him in the team, Clásico and Celta. Took a while for him to really bed into the side.
He discovers some space in midfield and is allowed to run all the way to the edge of the area before finding Neymar under David Moyes. They may well yet go in further behind, with Neymar moving in from the left. He's got Rakitic on the edge, and he looked for Messi. There was an instinctive pushed away and behind for a corner. Have time to take this, as we just see a replay here of that chance. And the keeper just seemed to get the gloves on that and turn that behind. Inigo Martinez was in there with them.
Was hoping to catch that actually, but Messi kind of took it out of his grasp, and then his defender taking no chance of just booting it out. And also now clinging on in these final few seconds.
Piqué and Mateo stayed up from the corner. Rakitic is in the area. I was thinking Neymar would have to hurry up and get the cross in, but instead he settles for a corner. And the referee may well blow for half time before the Brazilian gets a chance to actually take this. Looks like the referee's allowing us to go into the area. You here at Camp Nou with the half-time score. Football Club Barcelona
to league with, this is actually the biggest budget they've ever had in their history. Bringing players back like Mendy, signing players like Ruma and Jonathas, but
or even the top 6 or 7 this season will have to put on hold after the start that the team under David Moyes made, and now they'll be just hoping to survive in the Spanish top flight. When the Welshman took charge, he wasn't there for too long as he left in January 2008. To Mateo, who's made another run, he's got men in front of him, and it's 3-0. The linesman's flag stays down. There's a slight discussion on who got the last touch. I think Neymar is the man who's been credited with it. And he had his 14th. So he seems to be on side with the man in the middle there. Quite clearly Neymar sweeping it in to the near post with his left foot. Better angle.
Well, I think once again we're seeing Iniesta's ability just to drive the team forward, just the brains, just sees the pass on the left-hand side. It reminds me of Barcelona's second goal at the Bernabeu last week when Iniesta just went marauding forward on the break, spotted the run of Neymar, that time on the left-hand side.
Shows off some skills. He's not just a man who breaks up the play and puts the tackle in before giving it.
Well, it's just such a joy to watch. Sergio Busquets is one of those players that sometimes you just don't notice him, but he's just
for one of the 4 booked players as Mateo gets the ball out, but just hit beyond Neymar. Mateo,
perhaps, as we said, Mendy perhaps joining a big club too soon, as Neymar coming down the left-hand side to attack Real Sosьедad. It's into Messi. Oh, and Barca just able to get Real Sosьedad on the back foot. Look at the space which Neymar's afforded there. Messi just...
I was going to ask you about the Messi miss there, but Messi now pushing Barca forward and picking the ball up and straight in, giving to the next chance. But for Messi, it could almost be put down to the fact that he's a bit rusty in front of goal, because given the high standards that we've seen him set, Neymar to his left appearing to be in space, but Messi now cutting along the edge of the area finds Neymar. Neymar's first touch just took it away from him and pushed it back inside rather than outside the defender. Brazilian looking annoyed with himself there. Barca looked slightly annoyed they weren't given the play on, but Neymar now on the left of the area cuts back inside looking for Messi and Tich. Neymar picks it up once more, and we'll just see that out for a throw-in.
In the last 5 or 10 minutes, just not able to continue that high pressing game which they began the game with. They were not playing against Roma.
Familiar hand clap that went away, and then Rakitic nods it on to Iniesta. Luis Suarez sweeps it over. Neymar will have a race on with Rulli. The keeper was lucky there. Did well even to get the ball before Neymar, and then to knock it on to set off down the right flank, and plays into the feet of Neymar. And Neymar looked to push that wide because he saw Rulli come out of his area. Thought if he could get the angle, and credited for doing well for putting off the Brazilian, or not a good one. And Rakitic floats it to the far post looking for Neymar. The nod up sees it drop to the feet of the Brazilian, and he slips. Elizondo continues to harry and hassle, but Neymar does exceptionally well to move away. Oh, good reflexes from the Barca keeper, but very good work from Bruma, who's looked a very lively player to bring on at this stage. But straight up the other end, and Messi off the cross.
Moving, can Busquets do it?
Neymar goes past Elizondo, leaves the fullback on the floor and draws it back for Messi. And his shot, door defenders, and Messi going through all the way, and thought he could find Neymar, and he has found Neymar now. He's got Suarez at the far post. He keeps going, the pullback, and Real Sosьедad. Enrique said he may not be at 100% just yet. Now, there's still chances perhaps to come for Barca in injury time, as Neymar finds Suarez, and now Neymar, Messi at the far post, and he finds him racing towards a second consecutive league title.
Oh, Neymar just makes Elizondo just look like a player from a different league, and that cross over to Messi, and that makes it the first game in which these three have managed to get on the score sheet for over 2 months. But great little play between Neymar and Suarez, and that's just the front three linking up in every sense, all three involved. Messi with a very simple finish, no way he was going to miss that, although he got a 15th. Jordi Alba trying to get in on the act.
He did indeed. His cross wasn't quite as effective as Neymar's, and Neymar picks it up again now. Well, he's brilliant into the area, and he's got round one and then two, and then eventually he's blocked out by Mikel Gonzalez.
Well, just a different class, isn't he, Neymar? Just the speed of his case said a couple of weeks ago, when he gets into the box, you either foul him and give away a penalty.
Doubled his tally for the game, and in the final minute, or the first minute,